feel that that was necessary, I'm okay with it.
It's always necessary.
Okay. I really wish we had the that RIAA license in place, which is what I think we need to do to like the radio station license to play whatever. Because I'd really like to do the George Strait,
Yeah.
the Cowboy Rides Away. Just it's a good end of, or what was the old Vitamin C song, the graduation song?
What?
Okay.
I don't know any of this. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? That's the Owen Wilson from a couple episodes ago. Poor guy. Well, welcome back to the Regular Dad. What will be the last episode for the time being produced by the Wingards.
Yeah.
Or finished out by the Wingard. I don't know. Distributed by.
Yes.
There it is.
Well, and like chopped into little pieces and
yes, all the good shorts,
all over
the funny stuff, and
the excellent editing.
Yeah,
because the long form's edited by me, and well,
because you're the hero.
You can tell.
You can be my hero, baby. Okay, we're gonna do something else now. No, so when we started this whole thing, and it didn't take the path that that I think I necessarily wanted it to. Right, wrong, and different. Because there's kind of how you envision it, and then kind of how it
I don't
out.
think we did a single tutorial.
No, we didn't, and maybe that's what we do is we go offline for a little while and just produce tutorials out the yin yang, and then when we're ready, we dump them, and I don't know. But
that might tie into something that I was going to share with you that I had.
Okay, well, good.
Well, I've got an idea about what the boys and I might do. With things, so we'll have to talk. Well, I started sharing that with you.
Yeah,
buying wrecked cars and fixing them up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, so this thing that we've done, it was kind of a way to let people know what I was learning and places that I was in life. Of course, I've continued to learn leaps and bounds while we've been doing this, and it's only been 10 months, but it's been a very formative and very, very formative and informative. So it has formed me and shaped me, and it has informed me as well. Doing this and pulling stuff together for the episodes, and it certainly brought its challenges because then I have the opportunity to walk out this stuff. Sometimes
it's funny how when you put stuff on the internet, it holds you accountable.
Right. So, I felt, I was, I think the first episode came out on my 44th birthday, and somewhere in there, I felt that in 44 years of being on the earth, that I finally knew enough to realize that I didn't know everything or really anything.
Yeah.
Right. I had gained that much knowledge to know that I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the handful of things that I did know or the experiences that I did have, I'm like, it's good if you pass that information around. And we've had some really good positive feedback from friends, from strangers, that say that this really helped. We really, enjoyed this. We've had some people get, a little mouthy, online and different things.
Wish
that's
that
fine. It's
more
good.
people had gotten mouthy.
Man, wouldn't it? Yeah. Y'all could, hate us a little bit more.
We would love that.
Because had this thing grown to where it could just pay for itself, not pay us, but pay for itself,
right,
we'd keep doing it. But right. So anyway, so I wanted just to share those things. I had learned a lot. I had learned a significant amount about being a dad, about being a dad that was depressed, and how that depression spread into how I was a parent, how I was a husband, how I was a friend, how I was a volunteer at church. It saturated everything.
Yeah.
And so, we talked about that. We talked about the different things that we've learned. We talked about the things that we've read or we're reading. And it's been a good time. So really, really enjoyed what we've done. And I know all the times that I've said, sorry, Mom, and Rachel has cut out so many of those, and put those together. I have a lot to apologize to her for.
Yes.
But, I think the ones on the personal development and anything to do with relationships and whatnot, because I was so standoffish with relationships, because relationships are where you can get hurt. They require vulnerability.
Right.
Here is our executive pastor, Doug Case, calling us right now. Let me see what Doug Case wants.
Yeah, let's find out. This is not staged.
No, it's not staged. Doug Case, you're live on the air with the regular dad.
Okay, hey, how are you?
Yeah, we're doing.
What's up, Doug?
What's up? So,
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have time to swing by the church? We have the legacy video this weekend. I just want you to be able to hear the audio beforehand and see what you need. On the board.
Is today.
Pull the video again.
Is today Thursday?
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave here and come there. I'll call you.
You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. But
Well, I'm gonna go right by you on the way into town. So.
Okay.
All right.
So you'll come through.
Yes, sir. I will. I'll call you. All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye, Doug.
He's on to the next thing. That man is wound up. I can't keep up with him. I can't. So someone should switch their coffee out to decaf in the office.
Just see what happens. As a social experiment.
Just to help normalize only his coffee.
Yeah.
Everyone else could do like the Black Rifle or the whatever, the double caffeine stuff.
Yeah.
That man he thinks about so much all the time. And if he had two mouths or more, he would speak all at the same time.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
No, I'm absolutely not. I have great admiration for him because he spins more plates. He makes some of those jugglers,
Well, there's people like that out there that don't sleep at night, right? Like 4 hours a night, and they get up and they're just like on, and it's like it doesn't affect them. They just live their life that way. Super hyper productive. It's probably Doug. Doug's probably one of those guys. I don't know. I've never asked him how much he sleeps. I know he knows how to rest because he talks about rest all the time.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
So anyway.
When he's not resting.
Yeah, hey, can you come by and check this video right now? I gotta go. It's like the old Micro Machines dude.
He's from Texas, right?
No. Pennsylvania.
Okay, because here's the deal. When we moved here, and still to this day, people think the way I talk, I'm like mad at them.
Well, no.
I mean, just because I'm talking fast,
Well, you could talk slow. Sorry, it's terrible.
Anyways,
yeah, no, I don't think you're mad. I have seen you over caffeinated. What was it called? Bottomless coffee.
Yeah, the bottomless coffee at Silver Grizz when I was working at Silver Grizz that day.
Yeah.
You got to get your money's worth, man.
You got the whole place's money's worth. They should have cut you off. This is like...
Well, I had no idea how caffeinated I was till I started interacting with you because I was just sitting at a table by myself, sipping coffee, editing video.
Right.
I was working on Kalos. I think I was doing design work.
You're having a good old time. Then you showed up to lunch with Pastor Chris and Julie and me. And you went to reach for the chips at the good old Mexican food restaurant. And you're like, what's wrong with you? Nothing, man. I'm having a good time.
I was a little caffeinated.
Yeah.
That day.
All right. So anyway, I told you, kind of what I liked about this thing, and the tutorials. We should really focus on that. And we should go out and get a bunch in the can.
The difficulty is just. It's interesting because I mean, this maybe just as a global commentary on the talent and creativity of highly successful YouTube vloggers. Mm-hmm. But the guys that do that kind of stuff, they make it look like there's no camera there. Mm-hmm. Like the technical stuff just fades into the background. The audio works. You've got good video edit. You got good video editing and video angles on those tutorials. And I'm just like, as I would think about it sometimes, like, well, I'm going to go grab the camera, put the shotgun mic on it, set up it with the little pistol grip. I've got like pistol grip for it, get it all on, and we'll go like change the oil in the go-kart.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, dude, so much work.
Maybe that's why it didn't go any further, because we weren't willing to do it.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's a very regular dad thing to do.
Yeah. No, I can do a lot of work, or I can sit here and go, yep. I don't know. Maybe that's okay. So, well, what about you? Because you were gung ho when we started. I was like, hey, what do you think about? Yes,
I was in. Yeah, I feel like I don't feel like at a fundamental level, guys talk about, especially dads. You know, I don't know.
You can start that with guys on a fundamental level don't talk about, because they don't.
Really, I mean,
That's a
yeah.
reality.
It's like, unless you're like, I've been in my share of bars, you know, and there's
sorry, Mom.
It's an airline pilot thing. That's probably, anyways.
Yeah.
But, you know,
don't tell her that. I'm learning to fly. Don't. My mom was going to freak out.
Yeah. And there's always that guy that's on the bar that's had a little too much to drink. That's not always, but that's like sharing too much, and everybody's his best friend, and you know. And I guess other than that, I don't think we talk about this stuff well enough. And so I liked your concept when you came to me and asked me to help you with this. I was like, dude, absolutely, I'm in, because that's a huge thing. And I was on a journey of like mental health and healing. And I considered myself the anti-guy in a lot of ways. I was the guy that people called who were in relationships, married, girlfriend, whatever, and they're like, hey, my girlfriend just said this. What does that mean? And I'm like, well, it probably means this. And then they call me back a week later and be like, oh, man, you were totally right. Thanks for that advice. You know? And like when we went through marriage counseling, it was like, the girl usually thinks this. And I was like, actually, I think that. And Kim's like, the guy usually thinks this. And Kim's like, I actually, you know, so
Yes.
I always felt like I was like the anti-guy, but even in that context, I wasn't necessarily on a journey of healing until I got really intentional about like doing the work. And I really hate catchphrases. Really. But like,
Jimmy, that's a sore spot with me too. Because
but like,
you
know what I mean.
But yes, because it we do life together.
Yeah.
It's the church video thing where everyone does this.
Yeah.
And then they bring their hands together. It's out together,
Right.
Out together,
Right.
out, upturn together.
Yeah.
We're gonna do life together. What does it mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it means. Don't tell me what it means.
Catchphrases. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
yeah. But there's truth in it. That's why
that's the inescapable.
That's why
that's
it
the problem.
catches on, because there's truth.
We're gonna do life together.
And so so doing the work, and I started
do the work. You've got to do the work.
And I started to experience healing, and then around that time you asked me to be involved, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm in, you know. And then I just felt like God had laid down the resources, because all this gear that we're using was just sitting in my closet. I mean, if we had to buy all this stuff, it never would have happened, you know.
No.
But as far as what I've enjoyed or what I've gotten out of this, dude, so one thing, our friendship it's been good. It just is good to work with you.
Hey,
you know?
Yeah,
you know,
likewise.
I really enjoy that. And I don't say that about everyone. So,
oh, plenty of people don't say that about me. I'm going to tell you that right now.
But the other part is just getting this stuff, the stuff that we've talked about, instead of it just being like around a campfire or at the bar or at dinner, getting it archived. Does that make sense? Like even if we don't make any more content,
sure, it's out there now.
It's out there now, and I feel like some of it, at least, is stuff that maybe isn't being talked about at least as much as it should be.
Right. To be discovered in the future.
Right. or just we used to. So I had a band. When I got laid off from my original airline job before I got on with SkyWest, and I came back to Texas to flight instruct to sort of like, lick my wounds after 9/11 and make sure, get things back going again.
Yeah, that rocked that industry.
I had a band, and we were the house band at a local cafe here, Green Street Cafe. I don't know if you remember that. And every night when we would come do a show, it was every Friday night. We'd do a single set of mostly covers, do that twice. So it's like 4 hours of music. We would pray, and even when we would like go lead worship or do anything else with that group, we would pray and just be like, God, if there's just one person who's affected, it's worth because every week we would practice at least 4 hours. It was like 2-hour practices, I think. I don't know. Dana Huber, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Ariana Terrell, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The two ladies, they always remembered everything.
There you go.
But I think it was about 2 hours, 2 practices a week, and then we go do the gig. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, that is.
And we would just say, if it was just one person, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Even if like one of our 56 subscribers is affected in a positive way by this channel,
right?
Totally worth it.
We have more than that.
Do we?
Yeah.
On YouTube?
No. People don't want to listen to us for a long time.
I was talking about the YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's here. I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time. Okay. That's why TikTok.
So what? TikTok. Interesting. Okay.
60 seconds at a time, baby.
Don't understand.
Yeah. No.
I'm such an old man.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, Green Street Cafe, that was going to be what, late 90s?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was because it was, I believe, again. So the band was in existence, and I left, and I came back. I can't remember now the timeline, but it was like it was while I was flight instructing at Laterno that first 2.5 years. So it was late 90s.
Okay.
And then I left, and you're right, it was late 90s. I'm sorry, ladies, you guys all have it memorized. I don't. It was late 90s.
Well, I only remember because that's when I went there.
Yeah.
I was working for my uncle. He had in the bank building. He had his law practice was there, and I would go.
Oh, you go down to Green Street Cafe? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we just play for drinks.
Nice.
So yeah, it was fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's cool, and it's interesting just the cycles and the patterns that life can take. But I do know definitively and firsthand that what we've done has helped a lot of people, and in some cases that I'm aware of firsthand, it has just what we said, not without even meaning to. We weren't trying to drop some type of big
truth bomb
or anything like So, but it was something that we said tripped something in them, and they're like, I have to make this change.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so from that aspect, if that's the only metric, then we have been successful multiple times over.
Yeah,
that's good. So that's good, and and again, I hope it's not a permanent hiatus because I really enjoy doing this. It's just for right now, I'm gonna just try to get some stuff ironed out, but. If someone that's watching this would go, hey, I'd really like a tutorial on, because between us, we know a lot of random crap.
It is so random.
And I have roadmaps of things, and it was kind of like I was busy enough to not have time to do this.
I mean, honestly, it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
One of my favorite YouTube channels is Daily Driven Exotics. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys will talk sometimes about how much work it takes to get I think they said it's been 7 years and they're, 2 million subscribers now or something like that. But and the channel is financing multiple supercars, that they're modding and playing with and stuff. So they're making good money now, but they say, and it's like a video upload. It's a long form video upload every other day. And they live in Canada, and DDE's based in LA. So they're flying back and forth and doing, it's an unreal amount of work. It really is to maintain that. And I get that. And they say you really just have to be committed. You just have to push into it.
Yeah. You have to, you have to be able to deliver that much before it's paying the bills.
Yeah. And yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's like the modern day business startup.
Like he was talking about the other day, the main guy, Damon, was talking about, he's like, yeah, you know, you're working through things like telling your wife, I just bought a $10,000 set of wheels for the Lamborghini because I know it'll get us more views, you know? Yep. And she has to be like, okay.
Then there's
not that we're going to, you know.
Well, Dino, I'd like to take this time.
I mean, it's time to get that wake boat, right?
Yeah. With the new Silverado.
It's going to get more views on the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. I needed this high country Duramax.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we should have done a car channel.
Oh, my gosh. That's too rich for my blood.
Amen.
What's that guy, I forget his name, but they run that channel, Whistling Diesel.
Oh, my gosh. That guy just literally burns through the money.
It's just unreal.
It is unreal. Yeah.
Now he's very adamant about the fact that it's not a daddy's money.
Yeah, I feel like he plays off like he doesn't know anything, but he's actually smarter than he plays off. And
the guy's a friggin' genius
from a business standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah,
so he knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
And tearing up the old trucks and the stuff like that.
Did you see him burn down the Ferrari?
No. But so while
literally burn it down.
It's heartbreaking, and people get all pissed at him and everything. But then they sit there and they watch it, and you can get as mad as you want to.
Yeah, that's not the kind of channel we wanted to have.
No.
So, and I like the ethos here and what we're doing, and it's not going to end. We just, like you said, can't be paying for the accoutrement.
Right. Well,
yeah,
you know. We'll see what the Lord has for the future.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us for this episode and temporarily anyway. Yep. Check out the Divergent Sense podcast that I do with Bill Leckie. The first of the year, we're going to do a reprise on the 4 keys to sustainable change.
Nice.
Everyone's, you know, they look at the New Year's resolutions and the different things and whatnot. And I'm not anti New Year's resolutions, but I don't like the hanging all your improvement initiatives on the New Year. I understand there's got to be a marker for something, but then it's like, if you don't do well, it's like, oh well, and then people give up, and then it's like socially acceptable to give up on all of your okay, so whatever. But nonetheless, people are going to do that, and because that is kind of a cultural norm, I'm not saying we're pandering to that, but if it's like, all right, if you're going to do it, this is a good format to follow. It's a good format anytime.
I mean, honestly, if the Divergent Sense does that every year, I don't think there's anything wrong with reviewing that information.
That's good. So we're going to do it in real time. Originally, I was going to try to take the lazy man out and just redrop those files in and let them play. 'Cause I don't think we did anything to highlight, you know, the time frame or anything like that. Radio stations do it all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and run the best.
People go on vacation and then it's like
and so you know, but Bill, the regular granddad that we had on, he's like, no, we're gonna do it. We're gonna redo it. Yes, sir. We're gonna redo it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna track that next week, and it'll be available for y'all after the first of the year.
Awesome.
But anyway, check that out. I don't have a social media profile.
I can recommend one.
What do you got?
So Rita Springer.
Yes.
Worship is My Weapon is an episodic podcast she does, but she has other sort of content that she puts out.
Absolutely.
Rita Springer. She's a worship leader, songwriter, amazing. Latest album
has been around. I mean,
since like the Hosanna, like Maranatha days and stuff like that.
When she was 10, Miss Springer.
But just so much wisdom, and she's interviewing some real heavy hitters in the CCM and the worship space.
That's cool.
So and the interviews are always awesome. It's very long form, usually an hour or so, but it's great.
Hey,
So
she knows a lot, got a lot to say.
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to connect the funny dots with Rita Springer?
Okay.
All right, here you go. So
Rama?
No, actually, believe it or not.
Okay.
I mean, which would be, you would think.
Right.
Because that's where I met, like, Milo Lefevre. Right?
Okay. Oh, my gosh. I haven't heard that name in forever.
Right,
Dude.
right. I was at a camp meeting running monitors. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Sitting right there.
Wow.
You know? I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right, that doesn't matter. Now, Mike Randall, his song that we use on this.
Yeah. Okay.
On the podcast.
Yes.
The intro and outro music. He wrote that song. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, I first met Rita Springer. It's your bugs, Jimmy.
Attack!
Oh, bless America. All right. So
I don't like bugs.
Mike we were at the Profit Bar in Deep Ellum, and we were doing a fundraiser for a nonprofit that was his nonprofit that he had at the time.
Profit Bar, PROPHET?
Yeah, not
for a non-profit.
Yes. Profit is in like the individual, not profit is in the cash.
Right, but then it's fine.
I was trying to tell the story, and this is really why we're having to shut this down, because I can't get words out of my mouth without being challenged. It's not true. All right.
Anyways.
So
Well, not good.
Mike calls me and says, hey, will you come out and do the audio for this event? Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. And Rita Springer is going to be involved. And there was a couple other people. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, she would not remember me at all. There was no, I don't even know that I talked to her. Maybe okay. Whoever her road manager was, whoever was with her at that time, asked for help loading her keyboard. Mm-hmm. Okay. And, like, yeah, dude, it's a keyboard. Sure. I don't mind helping you. And just had her car out front. And so we went to pick up this keyboard, and I understood right away why he wanted help.
Oh, is it?
Dude, okay, Deep
Some
Ellum,
kind
as
of
sketchy
vintage?
as it is,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was weighted with granite or something. I don't know, because and Miss Springer, I don't know what this keyboard is, okay, or was at that time. But we looked, this guy and I wouldn't recognize him if I was standing next to him. We carried this thing out, and it's wrapped up, and it looks like we're carrying a body out the back of some bar in Deep Ellum.
Oh, no.
I'm like, well, this doesn't look good. Right here doing the work of the Lord, carrying a body. I don't want to say that I've carried bodies because I haven't, but if I had, I imagine that they would not be any heavier than what we were carrying.
That's
that
crazy.
thing was unreal. And I've moved keyboards, weighted keyboards for years.
Yeah.
Something about that one. So.
Yeah, I remember
wow.
my roommate. You remember Brett?
Yeah.
He bought an Alesis, I think it was a QS8 or whatever back.
Yeah.
It was like 88 key, fully weighted keyboard. Like that thing was heavy, but not as heavy as.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the end of the day and tired and whatnot. I don't know. But
That's an impression.
It did. So when you say Rita Springer, now right away, I immediately go to Cadaver Keyboard.
That's hilarious, dude.
So if I ever do get to meet her and interact with her again, I make sure that story. But and who knows, maybe she'll get to hear that. But anyway.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So so check out that channel.
Phenomenal podcast.
Yeah. So, well, that's a cool deal. All right. Oh, I'll tell you who else has. Dear God, Jimmy, you know who else, musician wise, has a good podcast? Dallas Holm.
Really?
You remember him from from late 70s, 80s, 90s? Okay. And those were his heyday. But he played at our church for our we call it the Dream Team, but that's our volunteer basis. We do an appreciation event for them every year.
Yeah.
And he came in, and he was the surprise guest musician.
This last Fiesta?
Yeah, this
I
last
missed
one.
that.
Yeah,
Bummer.
so
Yeah.
and the Wingards have a relationship with him, and it helped facilitate some of that. But he came in, and of course, it's a household name growing up. I never got to meet him. But I did got to hang out with him for a little while because it was getting him rigged up audio wise, and it was just us, and he had dinner there and everything. So we just kind of got to shoot the breeze. But in following him and kind of getting engaged with that, I followed his podcast. Really, it's just fun, and you can learn a lot from him. He's a long-time soldier.
That generation of CCM / worship, the beginning of that, they're all, not all, but I think a lot of them are seasoned with so much wisdom now. Like Rita's the same way. She's been through it. She's seen it. And the way she talks about the industry is so balanced.
Yeah.
Because the pendulum has swung.
Yes.
Yeah. And you get these artists, these Christian artists, a lot of, there's some that are just like walking away from Christ now and like all this stuff. And she's just like, sounds like maybe he's the same way.
Yeah.
I think,
So anyway, check out both of those. Rita Springer, Dallas Holm. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay. Non-glamorous signing off for ? But when there is a next time, you'll see us here.